Hi, I'm Liz McDonald, teaching at my studio Brazilian Yoga and Pilates. And I'm here to show you a brief sequence today for yoga for weight loss. Now, before we move on, it's good to just mention that most all yoga is for weight loss, or what we think of as yoga, the physical postures. Because it works a little bit differently, and I think more effectively than the typical calories in, calories out method. Rather, it recalibrates your body so that your body can start to do that automatically, re-regulating the metabolism, thyroid gland function, and all of that good stuff, so that you can be a little bit more free with your diet. I'm particularly naughty. I love donuts and tend to eat whatever I want, and so far, all is well. I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about, oh no, am I losing a lot of weight? And it just seems to have found a nice, healthy point to stay at, which is great, because I can forget about it. That being said, we're going to focus a little bit today on creating a little bit more heat than normal, and also working on twists. Twists are really great for losing weight because we are defining our midline, and we're doing so with our muscles. Okay, the other reason why they're great is because they also detox. Whenever you're making a twisting motion like this, you can think of your kind of wringing out all of the dirty stuff with like a sponge, right? So that's the intention we're gonna work with today as we move through these poses. Now, if you're really looking for a good workout based on the stuff you found online, go ahead and do the Yogas for Beginners video first, cut out the Chivasana, and then move straight into this sequence. By then we should be nice and warm so we can prepare ourselves for some good deep twisting. Okay, so starting in mountain pose. We're gonna inhale and take the arms overhead. Exhale, bend the knees slightly if you need to. Come down into forward fold or Uttasana. You may not come down this far, it's okay. Just come down to your own extent. Again, keep the knees bent if you need to. Inhale to come up with a flat back. Exhale to deepen once again. Feel the heels working away from the hamstring insertion. Inhale to come up once again. Now that's a half sun salutation. We're gonna do a few of these, mainly to get the heat and the breath flowing in the body. Remember, you exhale to fall, inhale to rise. Now say I weren't this bendy. I'm gonna do some, pretend, do a little role playing in yoga here. So come down, oh, say I have a bad back, I'm gonna bend my knees, that helps a bit. And then I'm gonna rest my hands on top of my thighs instead of on the floor to stretch my back forward. Exhale and bend forward. Maybe I can just go to about right here. Inhale to come up again. It's better to work with 5 inches of motion than nothing, right? So maybe a total of 5 of these. I'm now on my 4th. Last one. Ooh, I'm gonna bend my knees a little bit to come up. And stop here for a moment. Go ahead and interlace your fingers. Make a steeple and find the top of the silver thread. This would be a thread that is connecting you from top to bottom and beyond, anchoring you into the sky and into the earth. Your spine will grow in 2 opposite directions from the middle. Experience your length as you pull your navel in to wrap your core tightly around your spine, buttressing it upwards. Inhale to lift, find the silver thread again. Exhale, pull the navel in towards the spine and twist just the upper part of the body to one side. Try to leave the hips square to the wall in front of you. Inhale to lift up again. This is much harder than it looks. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale, stretch a little taller. Feel the left foot checking out, check back in. Inhale to come back to center, and now we'll repeat on the other side. So this is just my core muscles working here. Inhale to get length, exhale to tune back into your strength. Last one. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Exhale. Inhale, lift up through the center. Once again, take the head back and up and whew, flower the arms out to the side. Doesn't that feel delicious? Roll out the shoulders, already getting a little misty. And now let's open it out to the side for triangle pose. Triangle pose, the most fun you've had with geometry in a while. Okay, what we're gonna do is take both of the toes towards the right. Now I have to be very specific about this because the way our foot is positioned on the floor determines the way the thigh bones are sitting inside the hip. And since a lot of us have lower back and kind of hip and groin issues, we want to make sure that we get our base in a good place for our hips and lower back. So with our right toes facing the right, they're going to be a 180-degree situation. And the heel is actually going to bisect the arch of the back foot. The back foot is turned in the same direction by about 30 degrees. What tends to happen is this hip follows the foot around, but we don't want that. We want the hip to remain square, even though these feet are turned. Inhale, take tons of space, just grow a highway across that wingspan, breathe. Exhale, pull the core in. Now the thing about this is you're bringing the mindfulness of weight loss to the series. So you don't want to just kind of like check out and do it like that, right? Anyone can kind of just do it kind of half-baked, but if we put energy in the whole body from fingers to toes, we're getting a lot more out of the pose. Exhale, start to pull that belly in toward your spine and reach. Stay in the halfway point to make sure you're using your strength to stay up here. Exhale, slowly come down, and this is where we're different. A hand may fall on the shin, it may wrap around the toe, it may go on the thigh. I'll go for the middle ground. Inhale, allow the top ribs to blossom up to the sky and unfurl the top arm. Again, find the highway across your arms and chest. And by highway, I mean there's this, you can either feel the flow is either cut off because we've it's like bending up a garden hose, right? We've cut off the flow, or we've actually made an opening for everything. That's where you want to work. Woo-wee! Lord have mercy. Good. Inhale, come on now. And now take both of the feet toward that direction. So now it's almost like you're on skis. We're setting up now for rotated triangle, Parivrita Trikonasana. Inhale, take the spine straight up through the middle, find that silver cord once again. Inhale and take the left arm up and find a lovely diagonal from fingers all the way back to the back heel. Exhale to slowly come down. Make sure you're not locking the front leg. Now your hand may go on the floor, or you may need a block or to be on the fingertips, but what you want to do is make sure that both sides of the spine are the same length. That's the tricky part. Inhale, find the highway across the chest. Exhale, pull the belly in to twist a little deeper. Remember, getting rid of toxins. Just imagine them draining out of the feet like bacon grease. I'm from the South originally. Few breaths here. Okay, so from Parivrita, inhale, find a long spine. Exhale, put the mind in the feet. As my teacher, Matthew Cohen, says. And inhale to slowly windmill up. Now, if you're a real ninja, you're gonna switch the feet without moving the body. Ta-da! Inhale, make sure your alignment is perfect. Check it out, or as good as it can be. Whew. Get your hair out of the way. Find that wide wingspan and the strong legs. Start to lean in one direction. Pull the navel to the spine so we're coming down like we're between two slices of bread. Stay here for a few cycles of breath. Pretty common, you guys, for a lot of people to want to lean forward here because of our rounded shoulders, but try to lean back like a friend is supporting you. After about 5 breaths there, inhale to come up. I'll go nice and slow so you can catch up if you're lingering. Twist the feet now in the opposite direction, lining up the hips. Let's find that really nice diagonal line again. You can see this from the back. I've got energy from the back heel all the way up through the torso and out through the fingers. Exhale, pull the belly in. Keep the hips squared as much as possible. And take the hand to the inside of the foot. Inhale to stretch. And slowly come up. That can be a wobbly one. Whew. Come to the front, shake it out. And now we're gonna try both of those variations in extended side angle. Just kind of building on what we just did. Same principles apply for the alignment of the feet here in triangle. Inhale down, just bending the right knee, and take the hand to the floor. Now check this out. I can actually swirl my shoulder around and make a different type of diagonal from fingers to toes. So after you finish triangle and rotated triangle on both sides, so let's do chair just to keep our body nice and warm. You sit down in an imaginary chair and feel the bunda go to work for you. So it like moves back in opposition to the bending knees and ankles. Inhale to reach overhead. Arms can be separate or together. Now hang on to that between 1 and 5 breaths depending on what you're going for today. And then exhale, slowly transition your way down to the earth. Set up for some really good twisting. Now, we want to make sure that our spine is symmetrically anchored into the earth by making sure these pointy little sits bones are as well. So that's the number one thing. Then what we do with the legs is the details. So we get those guys firmly on the floor, and then we take our top leg to the floor outside the leg that's bent underneath us. Now if this is too intense for you, any degree of this, if the foot needs to rest on top of the knee, is fine too. But ideally we want the foot to be on the floor right outside the knee. Once again, reposition those sits bones so you've got a flat base. Inhale to lift the spine up, and now use those twisting muscles to pull your navel to your spine. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, reorganize. Inhale, and just find your way into this pose nice and organically. Maybe start with 40–50% of what you can do. When we're working deeply, I always tell I was gonna say patients, but I always tell my students when we're working deeply that you really have to take it in phases. Almost like you're a middle school boy who's taking a girl to the movies for the first time, right? You wanna make sure she's comfortable with your hand on her knee before you progress, and maybe put it around her shoulders. Same thing when you're doing yoga. Am I okay here? Yes. If so, then and only then do you move on. And just kind of rotating through all of the positions, inhaling to rise, exhaling to twist. The cherry on top of this pose is to even pivot the head back and take the eyes around in their sockets. Spend a few breaths here. Remember, the longer you hold the pose, the twist rather, is the more benefits you're gonna get from the twisting, defining the waistline and detoxing. Sweet. Inhale and pull the old switcheroo with the legs. She even makes her own sound effects. Good. And then situate the sits bones evenly on the floor. You may be a little different on this side than the other. That is totally normal. Inhale to raise. Exhale. Find that inner powerhouse and continue by degrees, taking your seated twist. Once again, we want to find that feeling of width across the collarbones. And if you just watch carefully, you can see how the pose deepens. As different parts let go and other parts start working. Come back on an inhale with a nice long spine, and let's prepare for some fun in shoulder stand. So shoulder stand starts on our back. And the reason why I'm recommending this one is because it's good for stimulating the thyroid gland. Our goal is to compress and stimulate the thyroid gland in this pose. One thing you need to know about shoulder stand is to always gaze towards the ceiling. Definitely not the time to whisper to your friend. So go ahead and take the feet on the floor and take the triceps kind of right beside your torso like buttresses. Our hands are kind of sitting on ready up in the air here. So in a second, we're gonna kick one leg and then the other overhead. This kind of all has to happen at the same time. So you may need to make a few tries before you get into a position where you feel stable. Inhale and use the core muscles to raise the legs up to the sky and then start refining the pose. Right now I'm definitely kind of crooked, so I need to make sure that I stack myself up on both the right and the left side. Whew. Lengthen out through the legs. And then feel the sternum start to move towards the chin. If you can, go ahead and walk the hands further down the back towards the neck and form a nice little tripod to keep you buttressed and lifting towards the ceiling. Pull your core in. Now this is definitely not the time to stare at your belly, ladies and gentlemen, because in this pose, nobody wins. But take your belly into your spine and keep using it to elongate it. Sense of someone pulling you up towards the ceiling by the toes. Take at least 4 or 5 more breaths here. You want to hold shoulder stand for a really long time. And then exhale. Slowly let yourself down piece by piece if you can. Leaving your legs straight and using your core to lower the hips down gently. Try to keep the neck nice and relaxed. Easier said than done, of course. Feel free to go ahead and pulse through a few bridges. Just to release the lower back a little bit. And then finally settle down into Shavasana. Yes, even if you're trying to lose weight, Shavasana or doing nothing is key. And maybe teaching your body in a way that it can actually achieve a healthy weight effortlessly. Definitely stay in Shavasana for at least 10 breaths and hopefully beyond. Maybe you'll even lose count. Now it should be said that the goal in Shavasana is not to fall asleep. If you do and you're in need of a good sleep, totally fine, no judgments here. But you want to try to keep yourself in that state between dreams and awakening, so that you're aware of the healing. And just kind of let yourself sink back into your happy place, maybe a warm sandy beach in Brazil. We'll enjoy our last couple of breaths in silence. Whenever you're ready, gently allow yourself to stretch in all directions, anything that feels good. Roll onto your side and gently come up to a seated position. I'm Liz McDonald, teaching from my studio in Los Angeles, Brazilian Yoga and Pilates. The last sequence, just taking you right through some of the poses that can help concentrate on weight loss. Although all yoga is good for re-regulating the body's natural processes to maintain a good weight, we focus today on twists, heating up the core, and even regulating the thyroid gland so that we can speed up some of those positive changes for you. Namaste.